Hey guys! Welcome to Free Tutorial TV and Python tutorial for beginner. In this we will discuss about unit testing in Python using PyTest. So first of all, what is unit testing? So according to Wikipedia, unit testing is a software testing method by which individual units of source code are tested to determine whether they are fit to use or not. So in unit testing we perform the lowest level of testing, that these individual units of software are tested. That means units like functions, subroutines and classes are tested to verify if they are giving the desired result or not. Now let's discuss why should be unit tests our code. So when you write unit tests, they reduces bug in new features and existing features. So let's say if you are writing a new feature in your code, unit tests can help you to reduce the bugs which may appear during the execution of your code. Now if you write good unit test, this serves as a good documentation for the person who is using your code. So because in unit test we are actually using the functions or the classes and testing them. So if the person who wants to use your code, he reads the test, he will be able to understand how to use your code. Also, when you write tests for your code, it reduces the cost of the change in the production. So if some code goes to production without testing, and you find that the bug in the production stage, then it's much costlier than fixing your code when you are developing your code. Next, unit test helps in faster debugging and faster development of your program. Also because you have the idea of what should be the desired result, and that means you can develop your code in a manner which is perfect for your tests. And at last but not least, unit test helps us to better design our program. Now let's talk about the unit testing framework which are available in Python. So I have listed here 3 topmost unit testing framework which we can use to write unit tests. So first module is unit test module, and this unit test module is present in your Python standard library. So you don't need to install any extra module in order to use this unit test module. The next module is the nose module, which is not there in the standard library, but it's simpler to use than the unit test framework. And at last you can use the PyTest framework, which is not in the Python standard library, but it's one of the most popular unit testing framework for Python. And so we are going to use PyTest for the unit testing of our Python code. So let's see how we can install PyTest package on our operating system on which we are working on. So you can install PyTest using pip. So we are going to just write pip install py and then press enter, which is going to install this PyTest package on our operating system. So you can see as it is now installed on my operating system. So I'm going to give cls command to clear the terminal, and then first of all I can give this PyTest command and -h in order to get the help about PyTest. So just press enter. We're just going to give you all the flags or the commands which you can use with the PyTest, and usage is given here. You just need to use the PyTest keyword, and then you can give the options which are listed below. And you can give the file or directory name or the list of files or directory. So for example, the general options are given here. So when you give this flag -k or -k, it's going to match the substring or the regular expression that you provide after this flag. And when you use -m, this means that it's going to test the functions which have the name assigned directly to them. That means only run that test which have given mark expression. So I'm going to try to show you all these options one by one, but let's see how we can write the test to use them using PyTest. So in here I have a Python script called math_func.py file, and inside this script I have 2 functions. One is a simple add function which adds 2 values, and other is the product function which returns the value of the multiplication of 2 values. Now in order to write the unit tests for these functions, I can create a new file. So let me create a new Python file, and I'm going to name it as test_math_func. So I have added this extra prefix here. It just test underscore in front of the name of my file, which is mathfunc. So I'm going to just create this file. So this test underscore prefix which I have added in front of my Python script name will help ptest to recognize that this is the file in which the unit testing functions are written. So it's going to go to that file. And here we can first of all import the mathfunc Python script, and then we can define the test functions. So test function you can define simply as you define any other function in your Python script. So you write def and then just start test name with test name prefix. So that's the underscore and then whatever name you want to give to your test. So first of all I want to test that add function here. So I'm going to just write test underscore add, and this function is not going to take any parameter here. And inside this function I can provide some assertion for my functions. So I can use a special keyword, which is assert. And then you can call your function in your Python scripts. mathfunc.add function. And here as an argument I'm going to provide two numbers, let's say 7 and 3. They're just going to give us the result and 10. So we are going to just check whether this function is returning 10 or not. And this is called assertion. Assertion means you want to assert that the function is returning that desired result. And so we are expecting that result. Then when we provide 7 and 3 as an argument to this add function, you can also provide multiple asserts here. So let's say I would just want to provide for example 7 here. You can see that y is equal to 2 is the default value of y. So here in the US I can only give one argument and the value of second argument, which is y, will be taken from the default value, which is 2. Say 7 plus 2 is 9. So we can just say then you provide 7. Here it's going to give us 9. Once again whenever you provided 5, here it's going to give 7. So in this way you can provide multiple sources inside your function, whatever you think will come as an expected result of your function. So I'm going to define the second function with test product. And once again I'm going to pass no argument here. And once again I can just use this assert keyword, and then the name of my library, which is mathfunc.function. This time we are going to test the product function. And let's see if we just want to check the product of 5 and 5. And the expected result will be 25 in the same way. Whenever you provide here for example only one argument, the default value of y is 2, right? So now we provide only one argument, which is 5 here, we will be expecting that here in a similar way. And I provide let's say 7 here. We are expecting the result 14. So once we have written our unit tests, let's try to run these tests using ptest. So first of all I need to go to the directory that this test script is there. So I'm going to just copy the part and then go to the terminal, and I move the CD to that spot which I have copied, and let me just remove the script name from here and then press enter. So now I'm in the folder where my mathfunc.py is there. And that's the underscore math underscore func.p, my file is there. So in order to run your unit test file you just need to give this come on by test and the name of your test file, which is test underscore math underscore func.p in my case, and then I am going to press enter, and you can see it's going to give me 2 pass in whatever time it took to execute these 2 tests. So because we have written to test here for 2 functions, it's going to show us this result, which is to passed. Let's say we are going to expect some unexpected values. So here we have written some wrong value, which we are expecting. And now when we run our test, it's going to fail. You can see 1 passed and 1 failed. And ptest will also give you the information about assertion failure. So the assertion failure is happened at this assertion that you are just testing. 10 is equal to 18, which is wrong here. So once again we are going to correct this. Also let's say some developer has changed the function which you are testing. So instead of returning the addition, now I'm going to return the subtraction, which is just going to break that test now. So I'm going to run the test once again. And once again it's going to give you the error. And this time, it's going to show us that the result is 4. But we are expecting 10 as the result. And that's why it's failing. So once again I'm going to just fix my code, and then once again, I'm going to run my test. And once again, that test will pass. So let me just clear the terminal using cls command, and you can also give a flag called a -p, which stands for verbose, in order to get the more detailed result. So I'm going to press enter, and you can see it's going to give us this flag pass or failed in front of our tests. And both tests are right now passing. That's why it's written pass in green here. Let's break that test once again. So I'm going to just say minus here. And once again run the code. And now we will see that this test is passing but add test is failing due to this assertion. So I'm going to once again fix the code and come to the terminal. Once again I'm going to just clear the terminal. And you can also run your test using this command. So you just need to write p.test without giving any name in front of the pi.test and then press enter. That is going to automatically recognize the test file, because we have given the special prefix here, test underscore. This is how your p-test will recognize that this is the testing file. So it's going to just run the test inside that file, and once again you can see it runs and 2 tests are passing. You can also give the verbose flag here, which is going to give you more information about your tests. Now let's say we are going to remove this prefix from our test. So let's say we just write the test underscore. So there is no test prefix in front of your function. And once again I'm going to give the same command. And you will see only one test is recognized, which is test underscore product. And this is because we haven't provided that test prefix in front of the function. So in order to recognize this function as a unit test, you need to give the test keyword as the prefix of your unit test function. Also, whenever you change the name of your test file, so let's say I'm going to refactor the name, and I'm going to just remove the D from test, and then once again I'm going to press refactor, which is going to change the name of this test file. And now this test file name is ds_mat_func. And once again I'm going to try to run my test, and it's going to say no test run in this much amount of time. So again, whenever you don't give the test keyword in front of your file name, then PyTest will not be able to recognize that this is your unit testing file. Let's go to the domain. And I'm going to just give cls command in order to clear the terminal, and let's give it a second command now, which we have used for running that test, which is done by test command and the name of the file. So now my file name is test_math_py. And now I'm going to press enter, and you will see. Now it's going to recognize, because we are specifically giving the file name in which our tests are there. So if you want to run your test inside some file B doesn't have that test prefix in front of it, you can just use by test command and then give the name of the file, and ptest is going to recognize that this is the file in which the unit tests are there, and it will run all the unit tests in this file. That's it for this video. In the next coming videos we will talk more about ptests and how to use ptest. I hope you have learned something new this time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. See you in next video.